The role of California's lieutenant governor, often referred to as the LG. California's lieutenant governor has a largely ceremonial role in this state. The lieutenant governor, of course, runs separately from the governor as opposed to the president and vice president of the United States, who are elected jointly. Here, the lieutenant governor is not on the same ticket as the governor. And there have been times where the lieutenant governor was a different party from the governor. The lieutenant governor officially serves as the president of the Senate, but only has the role to cast a vote in the case of a 2020 tie. The lieutenant governor does serve on a number of boards and commissions, such as the chair of the State Lands Commission. And of course, under the California Constitution, the lieutenant governor serves as acting governor whenever the governor is absent from the state, and she automatically becomes governor if a vacancy occurs in the office. The lieutenant governor of California also serves as a voting member of the UC Board of Regents, as well as a voting member of the CSU Board of Trustees, so is clearly involved in the higher education governing bodies in the state. In addition, pursuant to state law, the lieutenant governor chairs the California Commission for Economic Development, which provides support and guidance to the governor and the legislature and even the private sector regarding economic development in the California economy. So let's look at a few of the constitutional and statutory provisions applicable to the lieutenant governor. As with the other members of the executive branch, Article 5 has the provisions related to the lieutenant governor, because Article 5 again deals with the executive branch of California state government. Article 5, Section 5B specifies that whenever there's a vacancy in the office of the lieutenant governor, the governor must nominate a person to fill the vacancy, who then takes office upon confirmation by a majority of the members of the Senate and a majority of the members of the Assembly. And that individual holds office for the balance of the unexpired term. In the event that the nominee for lieutenant governor is neither confirmed nor refused confirmation by the Senate and Assembly within 90 days, then that nominee takes office as if he or she had been confirmed. Article 5, Section 9 of the state constitution provides that the lieutenant governor must have the same qualifications as the governor. And again, that the lieutenant governor is president of the Senate, but only has one role of casting that tie-breaking vote. Section 10 of Article 5 specifies that the lieutenant governor becomes governor when a vacancy occurs in the office. Also, the lieutenant governor acts as the governor during impeachment, absence from the state, or any other temporary disability of the governor. In addition, Section 10 provides that the legislature is required to provide an order of precedence after the lieutenant governor for succession to the office of governor. Also, the California Supreme Court has exclusive jurisdiction to determine all questions arising under this Section 10 of Article 5 of the state constitution. Section 11 provides that the lieutenant governor is to be elected at the same time and place and for the same term as the governor. And like the other constitutional officers, no lieutenant governor may serve in that office for more than 2 4-year terms. In Article 5, Section 14, the conflict of interest provisions that are contained therein apply to the lieutenant governor, because of course the lieutenant governor is a state officer as defined. In Article 2, Section 17, this is on voting and direct democracy, if a recall of the governor is initiated, then the recall duties of that office have to be performed by the lieutenant governor. In Article 9, Section 9 of the California Constitution, the lieutenant governor is designated as an ex officio member of the University of California Corporation, meaning that she is a regent. Turning to a few of the statutory provisions related to the lieutenant governor, most of them are contained in the government code as we would expect. Article 1 specifies duties, and Section 1201 provides that the lieutenant governor may appoint, and subject to the approval of the director of finance, can fix the salaries of one secretary and of clerical assistants that the lieutenant governor deems necessary for his or her office. Article 2 concerns impeachment, and Section 3039 states that if the lieutenant governor is impeached, that notice of the impeachment must be immediately given to the Senate by the Assembly in order that another president of the Senate may be chosen. Chapter 2 then deals with the Commission for Economic Development, and Government Code Section 14999.1 specifies that that commission's membership has 17 individuals and that the lieutenant governor serves as the chair of the commission. In addition, the governor, upon nomination of the lieutenant governor, appoints an executive secretary for the Commission for Economic Development, but that appointee serves at the pleasure of the lieutenant governor. Also, the lieutenant governor appoints the staff of the commission, and those staff are actually employees of the lieutenant governor's office. Then we turn to Article 5.5 in the government code that concerns the succession to the office of the governor. And Section 12058.5 provides that in the case of the death, disability, or other failure to take office of the governor-elect, then the lieutenant governor acts as governor from the same time and in the same manner as the governor-elect would have. In the case of death, then the lieutenant governor becomes governor for the full term. Or in the case of a disability or some other failure to take office, then the lieutenant governor acts as the governor until that disability of the governor-elect ceases. In Section 7.6b, it provides that the lieutenant governor may designate any person in his or her office to act as a deputy for the purpose of certain provisions of law. However, the lieutenant governor cannot appoint a person to act as a deputy at meetings of the state senate, or as a regent of the University of California, or as a trustee of the CSU, meaning, of course, that the lieutenant governor must be the only one who can attend and participate a meeting as a regent, a trustee, or as president of the California State Senate. Article 2 then concerns vacancies, and Section 1775 of the Government Code provides that whenever there's a vacancy in the office, then the governor nominates that person, as I mentioned earlier. In Article 1, it tackles resignations. In Section 1750, resignations must be in writing, and that if one is submitted by the lieutenant governor, it's provided to the legislature if the legislature is in session. If the legislature is not in session, then the lieutenant governor's resignation letter is provided to the Secretary of State. And then there's some general provisions out there as well. And so those are the main statutory provisions, as well as the earlier constitutional provisions that are applicable to California's lieutenant governor.